Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Mary Hidayah and everyone. Today we are from M5CDIM 11038. We would like to share about our biometric research on library community and user participation using a Scopus and Web of Science. Let's begin. Before we start, I would like to introduce our team members. My name is Carissa and my other team members are Nur Shazwina, Nur Amalina and Ale Dania. For introduction, this study used biometric analysis to examine the research trend based on the academic publication. This focused on the library community and user participation, which refer to the user involvement in library services and activity. What is user participation? User participation refers to the involvement of the library user in library activity, such as providing feedback, joining program, or contributing ideas to improve the services. It is very important in every aspect because it helps them to help the library better understand user needs and develop services that are more user-centered. For this study, we collect data from the Scopus and Web of Science, and the selective process is presented in a Prisma flow diagram.
Moving on to the method, we have chosen to use the Boolean search operator, which are AND, OR, and NOT. This helps us to be able to search more efficiently with the retrieval of information using the two databases, which are Scopus and Web of Science. We have chosen the AND operator to help us search the relevant information, combining the topic that Madam have given us, which is library community, along with the keyword that we have chosen to go along with it, which is user participation.
Next, I will explain about Prisma Diagram Scopus. The article selection process is summarized using a Prisma diagram. Initially, 26,261 records were identified from the Scopus database. After title and abstract screening, 26,100 articles were excluded. This resulted in 161 full text article assessed for eligibility. Following the full text review, 116 articles were excluded due to irrelevance. Finally, 45 studies were included in the final analysis.
So for this slide, I will explain further about Prisma diagram, Web of Science. The article selection process is summarized using a Prisma diagram. Initially, 80 records were identified from the Web of Science database. After title and abstract screening, 35 articles were excluded. This resulted in 45 full-text articles assessed for eligibility. Following the full-text review, 13 articles were excluded due to irrelevance. Finally, 32 studies were included in the final analysis.
Next, I will explain about Scopus, one of the database that we use to search to find relevant article in this assignment. First, log in Scopus, then click Advanced Search. After that, enter the keyword that we use to search, which is library community and user participation. Based on the Scopus search result, the initial keyword search produced 26,261 documents. After applying several filters such as subject area, document type, keyword, publication year, and language, the number of relevant articles was reduced to 45 documents. This filtering process helps us focus only on the most relevant studies related to our research topic. To refine our search result, we apply several filters in the Scopus database. We limited the subject area to social science, selected only article as the document type, and narrowed the keyword to public libraries. In addition, we filter the language to English only to ensure better understanding and consistency.
Next, I will explain about Web of Science. For this study, we use Web of Science as one of our main database to identify relevant articles. First, we log in to Web of Science using our institutional access. After we log in, we select the advanced search option to allow a more systematic and controlled search process. In the advanced search section, we enter our keywords using Boolean operators. The main keywords used were library community and user participations. We also selected the document type such as articles to ensure the relevance of the results. After entering the keywords, Web of Science initially returned 80 results from the Web of Science core collection. This number represents all articles related to our keywords before applying any filters. Next, we apply several filters to refine the search result. After filtering, the number of relevant articles was reduced to 32 results, which were more closely aligned with our research objective. Next, I will explain the filtering process was based on several criteria, including subject area, document type, publication year, keywords relevance. This step helped us ensure that only high quality and relevant studies were selected. In addition, we filtered the articles based on language. Only articles published in English were included in this study to ensure consistency and clarity in analysis.
Next, for result in discussion, this session will present the result related to author productivity based on data from Scopus and Web of Science. From the Scopus, the results show that several authors share the highest number of the publication with 4 documents each. For example, Garanger is among the authors with the highest contribution. This indicates that the research output is shared among a small group of active authors rather than dominated by a single person. On the other hand, several authors, including Joshua H., has the lowest record number of the publication. Overall, the Scopus data suggests a focused research active among the key contributors. Moving on to the author, to the Web of Science, a slightly different pattern can be observed. The maximum number of publications per author is 2 documents, each shared by multiple authors. This indicates that has no single author dominate the publication output in the Web of Science, reflecting a more distributed and collaborative authorship pattern. Now, let's look at the result by country. From our analysis of Scopus data, we can see that United States has the highest number of publications with a total of 30. On the other hand, countries like Mexico, Japan, and Hong Kong, and Denmark also, each have only 2 publications, which is the lower in the data set. Looking at the Web of Science data, the pattern is similar. The United States lead again with 8 publications, while the countries such as Denmark, Cuba, Canada, and Australia each only have 1 publication. Overall, these results show that United States had a strong influence in research trend related to library committee and user participation. Next, I will talk about the publication trend by year using data from Scopus and Web of Science. Looking at Scopus first, the number of the publication changed over the year. The most publication were in 2034, which is the highest than the previous year. On the other hand, 2020 and 2023 has the fewest publications, showing a drop research during those years. For Web of Science, the trend is a little different. The highest number of publications were in 2021, while the 2022 has the lowest number of documents. Overall, this shows that publication trend change from a year to year and can be different depending on the time base. It also suggests that research activity in this field gets up and down over the time. It is possible to the factor like database coverage to focus research in certain year.
For the results that we have gathered based on the organization view, it is apparent that in Scopus, Charles Sturt University from Wagga Wagga leads with 5 papers in total. Meanwhile, as you can see in Web of Science, there are various organizations that is leading with only 2 papers each, which includes Konkuk University, University of Hong Kong, University of South Africa, and Victoria University Wellington. This shows variation in leading institutions across databases. Last but not least, the results that we have gathered based on sponsor agency shows that in Scopus, the top funding sponsor is the Institute of Museum and Library Services with 4 papers in total, while from the Web of Science, the top funding sponsor is Konkuk University with only 2 papers, as I had mentioned earlier. This highlights the differences in funding sources across databases. As a conclusion, to end our presentations, it seems that this bibliometric study analyzes research trends using data from Web of Science and Scopus that we have researched on, and the Prisma method ensures a transparent and systematic article selection process. Furthermore, the findings that we have gathered highlight key developments and research gaps to support future studies. That is all from us. Thank you very much to Madam Hidayah for giving us the time of your day to hear us out. We hope to be able to hear from you again with positive responses. Anyways, me and my friends Nisa, Amalina, and Mina wish you a good day and goodbye.